Thank you for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. I'm Nikki Maduro. She is Kim McAllister. I have my cocktail and I am ready to talk about the California governor's debate that happened last night. I didn't drink. I didn't do a drinking game, but there's always news to drink too. So I have my cocktails and news all ready to go. Please click that thumbs up button as we always ask you to do at the start of every show because we are 100% crowdfunded. So clicking the thumbs up always helps us out, as does your support with the super chat, super stickers, PayPal, Patreon, all those fun ways to support our show. And we are very interested to hear what you guys think or thought of last night's debate. So it was here in the Bay Area at Cron 4. Apparently, Kim, it went so long that the end had to be streamed only. Like if you watched it on television, I watched it on my phone, so I didn't realize it was happening. Right. So if you were watching it on TV, it switched to streaming. Or it switched to your phone. Like you had to watch it through the app or whatever, because there were so many. So if anyone watched it on TV, you had to do that way. Mm-hmm. I thought the moderators did a good job. I thought that they kept the time on point. They didn't let people go long. I did not like the amount of time they gave the candidates to answer. It's not ever a debate anyway, but I don't feel like they give people enough time to actually answer the question beyond talking points. Right. If you're going to ask a complicated question, such as about homelessness and what are you going to do, and give Gavin Newsom a grade about something, and I know it can't go on forever, but give them more than 60 seconds. Does that seem fair? It was
fair to me.
I didn't like that aspect of it. But let's first start off with a broad question. Who did you think won the debate, if anybody?
Here's the thing for me, Nikki. I am no closer to lining up behind a candidate than I was before the debate.
Okay.
I don't think anybody won. I was meh for the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Did you think someone stood out more than anyone else?
No. Okay, so I personally was, you guys know, I'm a huge supporter of Katie Porter, so I was definitely listening more for her answers. Do I think she knocked anything out of the park? No. I don't think any candidate had this amazing moment where people are talking about it. They scored all of these points. I feel if anything, everybody kept it so safe and said exactly what everyone expected them to say, that nobody made any points. Nobody took any points away from anybody else, that it just seemed that we could have done without the debate. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like anybody was shaking things up, changing anyone's mind. And we really needed someone to do that. That's because right. Again, there are too many Democrats in this race. Somebody needed to drop out.
I wanted someone to rise like a shining star.
Yes.
And I wanted the heavens to open up and the spotlight to shine down and say, that's the one, right?
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. Cindy says Porter did well, especially explaining homelessness as a lot of causes, not just Republican view of only drugs and alcohol cause homelessness. Right. And Eileen says, I find it interesting that Bernie Sanders and Jane Fonda have both endorsed Mr. Steyer.
Exactly. I saw that too. I saw that right before we got on. I didn't hear about Jane Fonda. Let me know also, you guys, what do you think about Bernie Sanders' organization, Our Revolution, endorsing Tom Steyer? I was telling Kim right before the break, I think that tips it pretty much, especially for far left Democrats, progressive Democrats. I mean, I just feel like they're going to vote for Steyer now. I've been hearing Steyer's name over and over and over, especially in our kind of circle of friends, as the kind of the front runner besides Becerra, like kind of that sort of thing. And with Bernie Sanders endorsing him, I just feel like that tips the scale completely over. If you had hesitations about voting for a billionaire, Bernie Sanders' organization endorsing him, I feel, and let me know if you disagree, I think eases those fears. You know what I mean? Like, Okay, so this was the statement from our, this is Tom Steyer put it on their website, but this is what it said. Tom Steyer understands that California's affordability crisis is not inevitable. It's the result of a political system shaped by concentrated wealth and corporate power at the expense of working people. At a moment when too many positions of privilege defend the status quo, Tom has taken a different path, using his platform to challenge the very system that benefits people like him. He's been clear about the root causes of what's broken in our politics and is leaning into universal solutions like single-payer healthcare, taxing extreme wealth, and ending the outsized influence of corporations in our democracy. That's the kind of leadership this moment demands.
There will be people that go, oh, Bernie Sanders supports Steyer. So do I. Right? Like, that's all they need to know. Bernie says yes, it's a go.
Right.
Unless I mean, it's important to me who's supporting whom. I think it's an indicator of the way that person, falls on the issues. But I have a hard time blindly supporting Steyer just because someone else did. And while I like what he says about the way he feels about issues, there's something about that guy I don't trust. I can't even tell you. Is it the way he made his money? Is it private prisons and petroleum, whatever? Like, is it that? Is it that he's a billionaire? Is it that I feel like he could waffle on me, that he says one thing and could do another? Like, I don't know why I don't trust him, but I just don't.
That's interesting. Mama says there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. I've seen this a lot, right? Like,
except Taylor Swift. We'll give her that.
Well, I mean, she benefits from a system Tom Steyer is trying to break. I talked about this last week. Like, you're a billionaire, and he's not just a billionaire. He's a multi-billionaire, right? And I think, and we've talked about this again, I don't think people fully understand what it means to be a billionaire and how much money that actually is. It is so much money. And when it's not just 1 billion, you are talking about a level of wealth that is so extreme. So on that note, if you have someone like Tom Steyer who is using that wealth to kind of break the system that would lead to taxing people like him, okay, I buy it. But then I was also listening to some person saying, are we getting a John Fetterman? Which is someone that says one thing, and then once they're in office.
That's right.
Right?
And
like,
that's my fear.
There's no promise that he's actually going to fulfill it. Or I tried, I just couldn't get it done. California politics, that sort of thing,
So they call it the Epstein class. I'm not saying that Mr. Steyer is at all affiliated with Epstein, but it's called the Epstein class. When you have that much money that those people, right? The people in the billionaire circle.
Right.
And so here's a guy who probably, moves and shakes in the same world. And I don't know. I'm iffy. He's probably a lovely person. And I'm probably, not trusting or being way too skeptical. But I don't know why. I don't know why.
I like that you said that he runs in those circles because, and again, you guys know that I'm a Porter person. Okay. So I'm not like I'm defending and trying to promote him, but if this is going to be the guy in the general, I'm going to make these points. If you have someone that talks and walks the language of the people you want to change, does it benefit us to have an inside guy? If we trust that, and of course we have to trust it, right? Like, we need someone to talk bird to talk to the birds, right? Like, do we need a billionaire to explain to the billionaires why they need to be taxed? It's not good enough for the average Joe or, a Betty Yee or somebody that doesn't speak that language to try to explain to billionaires why they should accept this tax or why they should care about the rest of us lowly people, right? Like, would it benefit us to have a billionaire because he speaks that language? He walks amongst them. I don't believe billionaires should exist. I think that they have benefited and corrupted a system that is disgusting, and they've done it in a evil way. I'll use the word evil. You've bastardized a system through lobbying, through cheating, and left us all out to dry, right? Like, and hurt the rest of us through that system. But if it's going to be Steyer, and if we trust him to change it, which I would hope if he gets the position he would do, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's fair for us to feel this way. I don't trust billionaires.
But I don't think we have much of a choice, really. If it shows, which is what it seems to be, if polls show that Steyer is the one floating to the top of this heap, then do we all have to line up behind Steyer and go, okay, we're going to take a chance because this might not work out for us, but we're going to go for it. It's not like do we have a Gavin Newsom, which, okay, trust me, I know about PG&E, I know about Napa, I know about the stadium in LA, I know about, benefiting
everything,
his
yes.
buddies, right? Like Gavin Newsom doesn't come without controversy to me, but he was a stable, solid governor, other than our PG&E bills increasing. With Gavin Newsom, you kind of know what you're going to get, right?
Well, because we've had him for so long too.
Yeah, I'm not as the mayor of San Francisco, as the governor. Like Gavin Newsom is a solid, steady road, and I might not like where the road always goes, but I know where we're going. And I just don't feel like that about any of the other candidates. Maud says Steyer, the others just don't have the base. Mindy, though, writes that Javier Becerra has a good heart and cares about people. I want to think you're right about that. But this whole thing with Congressman Swalwell has shown me that we don't really know people.
Becerra did okay at the debate. I think he made a lot of good points, especially when he was talking about his experience, handling budgets. He did mess up Iran and Iraq, which I will actually forgive him for, even though.
Come on. If we're going to forgive Trump for all the
exactly,
we can forgive Becerra for that.
Exactly. I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making. You're up on stage. I know it's two completely different places. Okay. Yeah. I get it. But we're talking about a letter, you know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things, I think we all know that he knows that it's Iran. It's not like we're confusing it, right? So I do think that Becerra did well enough. I did not like that he was the only candidate that did not do the Cron 4 spin room after the debate, the Inside Politics spin room. I felt like he was dodging something with that. I think any opportunity you can to continue speaking, especially at this moment when we need to hear from everyone, I didn't like that. But again, he didn't have any breakout moments. And you need these right now. If Becerra is going to be the person, you need those. So I don't know. He didn't blow me away. He also dropped in the polls, I think the most, 7 percentage points. So that gives me pause as, is he the person? Oh God. And then Hilton, and beyond, I could not stand either of them talk. Neither of them. And I know that I'm obviously not conservative. They didn't say anything. They gave no specifics.
What are
Zero
they say
specifics.
To the California voter, what are they going to say? They have to downgrade and play it safe middle of the road because they can't be too conservative for California if they really want a shot, because they're trying to get Democrats to vote for them as well, right?
But all they, I think I can sum it up in this word. We're going to get rid of all taxes. We're not going to tax anything. I forget whether it was Bianco or Hilton, because forgive me, they basically said the same thing. But with the homelessness, they're like, we're going to take away every single money from the nonprofits and NGOs and just put a little bit towards drug treatment and mental health. Okay, so you're going to do the rest of the money for what? Like there was no plan. There was no and again, I know they weren't given much time, but for something as important as that, you got to give us something, because that is the problem. Everyone knows what the issue is. It's what do we do with it? California is a huge state. And they're like, we're overtaxed. Well, I agree. We are overtaxed and there is too much money. And there is a big question mark of where all that homeless money went. I will agree with a lot of the problems, but they weren't giving any solutions. Just saying you're overtaxed with no solution isn't providing anything. It's easy to point. It's harder to solve. And I don't think that either of them had a moment either. I just think that they're just not a Democrat. That's all they ran on. We're just not Democrats.
Right. I guess as long as they didn't look too Trumpian in this state, they did all right, right?
I-
Cindy says, I don't trust San Jose mayor who all the Silicon Valley tech people are giving money to. Their money interest is not the same as working class people.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, I understand. Like, are you beholden to certain people? This is my issue when people say that we're Silicon Valley. I mean, it would be hard to be the mayor of a city in the Bay Area that doesn't have the backing of certain people when you got elected in the Bay Area. So I don't, not that I don't understand what you're saying, but it would really be hard to find someone within a stone's throw that's a politician in the Bay Area that doesn't have some sort of backing of tech. What I want to see, and the problem with Mahan is he doesn't have a track record, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a track record of standing up to something. Like providing some sort of regulation on tech or something like that. Like you need to have a resume. Like I might have the backing of tech, but look what I've also done to protect the consumer or blah, 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 blah. But he doesn't have that because he's too new. And I don't have a problem with Matt. Like he's been my mayor and I've liked his job, but I just don't think he has the depth yet to be the governor of California.
Yeah, that's a big leap for not even having been the mayor of San Jose for that long either.
He hasn't finished one term yet. It's like, come on, man. Like,
I know you're leaping and bounding awfully quickly.
Exactly. And I'm not trying to do that as a knock, but the concerns people have, he can't address because he hasn't been put in a position to address it yet. So I don't know. I just like with Katie Porter, for instance, she's been a consumer advocate. She can point to protecting consumers. I want to play you also right now her answer to the biggest criticism, of course, which was how she treated her staffers, because that was the biggest one. Here, hold on.
As you pull this up, I want to mention that Karen just mentioned that 30 of her staffers signed a letter saying she's not as mean as she's portrayed.
There you go. Okay, here we go.
Acknowledge that your interactions with an aide and with a reporter captured on videos which went viral were, in your words, a bad look and that you could have done better. What have you done to address those concerns? And as a person who frequently speaks about being a parent on the campaign trail, what would you tell your own kids if they ever faced a boss like that? You have 60 seconds.
I apologized that day to that staffer 4 years ago. And I took responsibility then, and I have taken responsibility since, acknowledging that it was not the right way to treat someone. And that is a big contrast to what we have seen other candidates do when they have been called out for misconduct. I'm proud that that staffer in that video and I continued to work together for 4 years following that incident, and it speaks to how I addressed it. I work hard with my team to deliver for Californians, things like free COVID testing in the first weeks of the pandemic, things like cracking down on pharmaceutical price gouging, calling out a bank CEO for the fact that their employees couldn't pay for housing. All of my accomplishments have come from my team. And I would say that if somebody is treating you rudely, you should speak up. And that's what I would want my children to do. And that's what I did when I was being pushed again and again and again to kowtow, to give in and defend Donald Trump when he was engaged in despicable actions. I wasn't going to do that for that reporter, and I will not do it as governor.
Ms. Porter.
I do like that answer. That's a really good answer.
See?
And I have to say, when we all have our bad mom days. Other than those of you that, I mean, I'll just widen that to say we all have our bad days. But
exactly.
There are times I call it bad mom days when, I didn't say something exactly right, or I was a little too harsh, or
exactly
I didn't do something the way I would have normally done it, or for whatever reason, a bad mood, generally pissed off, whatever it is.
Yes.
We all have our moments where we mess it up. Every one of us has the moment where we mess it up.
Yep.
And to be able to go, you know what? And even to your kid or to the public or to the staffer and say, I messed that up. I did poorly there. That's my bad. That's my mistake. And I apologize. And I take responsibility for that. I can't falter for that. And honestly, I think I might have just become a Katie Porter supporter.
See?
I feel like, I don't want to say I don't care if she's a bitch, because I do. I don't want her to be bitchy. I want her to be better.
Everyone has their bitchy days, though.
But everybody has their bitchy days. But I feel like, even if she was the biggest bitch on the planet, she's still doing the things I want done. And this is the same thing, but, and I know this, and I don't go into it blindly, because I think the people that support Trump, many of them, not the MAGA people, but the people that can plug their nose and support Trump, those people, they do it because, they knew he was gonna do thing X, Y, and Z. And so they don't like the person he is, but they like his policies, what have you. And that's kind of what I'm saying about Katie Porter. Although I think I don't want to compare her to Trump in that way, because I think he's over here and she's way down here when you talk about asshole territory. Does that make sense?
No, it does. Exactly. And thank you, Harry, for the $5 for your bad mom days. We really do appreciate it. And we need every $5 bad mom days we can get. But you're absolutely right. Like, look, I think people can respect, one, the human side of any politician, right? Like, and I think that there's also another comment, like, tell me a politician that hasn't lied or whatever. These are people. These are people. They're going to mess up. The difference is people that double down, a la Trump, right? Like, I didn't lie. That wasn't me. Don't believe your eyes, your ears, those type of people. And other people that own up to it. A la Katie Porter. Like, I apologized and they still worked for me for 4 years. What does that tell you? Right? The letter that all of her staffers signed. She's not mean. And again, the job. Like, it's a tough job. And the harder your job, sometimes you're going to have more bad days, more stressful days, I'm burning it at both end days, and I might snap days. Not saying that you take it out on everybody. I'm not saying it's okay, but the understanding, the empathy that needs to come with it, I understand. See, exactly. Harry, name one politician you trust who's never lied. Exactly. Name one person that's never lied, right? Name one person that's not human, that's never done something for their own benefit. Come on. Let's stop. Did I think that Obama had the experience to be president at 46 years old? I mean, the whole community organizer, one term as senator type thing. Senator.
He held federal office and not just a city office, right? Yeah.
And again, I think the difference with Obama versus Matt Mahan. Matt Mahan was a teacher, not knocking teachers, community organizer, teacher. Like, I get it, within the community, working with the community, right? Senator, Matt Mahan never was. This was the other thing. And we want to talk about the moments. Obama had that thing. When he went to the Democratic National Convention and spoke, you never forgot his name.
He had the moment where
that moment.
The heavens opened up and the spotlight shone down, and you're like,
never forgot Barack Obama at that moment.
It's the same thing that happens with Pete Buttigieg and Talarico. Like, they have this thing about them, and you're like, yep, that's that person. Yeah.
I love you, Maude. Thank you so much. And we are going to keep fighting. And thank you for the $20 so we can keep fighting. We love you. We love you. We love you. But the moments are needed. And if you want to go back and watch Barack Obama, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Rush Limbaugh's brain exploded after Barack Obama spoke at the Democratic National Convention. I believe it was Rush Limbaugh who lost his ever-living mind. Because they're like, oh my God, they're treating him like Jesus or something like that. Because he just was Barack Obama that we know now, right? Like, he just spoke in a way that made people want to listen to him, want to vote. And I'm sorry, that's not Matt Mahan. Not saying you have to be Barack Obama, but if you're not going to have the long resume, you better have something else. So, and Barack Obama had it. So it doesn't replace experience, but you have to inspire. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to convince me to be taxed, or if you're going to convince me to have single payer healthcare that I might not have want, if you're going to convince me about an issue, you have to be convincing.
Sure.
And Barack Obama was convincing. So I don't know. And I agree, Spencer. The debate was not going to change votes. It was very disappointing. Absolutely. I completely agree. And it needed to be, in my opinion. That's what I think, that the Bernie Sanders Our Revolution endorsement is making bigger waves, in my opinion, than the debate did. Like, I think it's going to make bigger changes than anything anybody said, because well, whose minds are being changed? Whose minds? I don't think so.
Mama de los Goblins says women are called bitchy and men are called assertive. And Mama's right. Absolutely right.
Absolutely right. Exactly.
Although I would like to think, and perhaps I'm wrong, and I know they hide it because Trump's out there throwing ketchup and yelling at people. And I don't know if you saw the story recently that he was yelling at staffers when the pilot was missing and they had to keep him out of the war room. Like, so he's I know. I would like to think that if a man was yelling at staffers, that's not called assertive, but I mean, who knows?
They don't care though. It's not news is what it is. It's not news.
I also know that being the governor of California, like being the president of the United States, and I make no excuses for asshole behavior, but it is a highly stressful job.
Oh yeah.
So when you
that's why most presidents are governors. You know what I mean? Like that's why. Thank you, Jim, for the $5 super sticker. We love you and appreciate the support from all of our viewers today. But yeah, I mean, governors often are at least, candidates for president because of the leadership, the positions you're put in, the negotiations you have to do, working, with both Democrats and Republicans. It gives you that experience, right? Like there's a reason why people want to be governor, because they have aspirations for Washington. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Katie Porter did a good job. She did not blow me away, and I'm a supporter. You know what I mean? Like I did like her answer though to the staffer thing.
I did too. Luis isn't buying it. Essential reaction. A bad look is not taking responsibility. She got nailed for that response that she got nailed for. That response has led to her more polished answer now. Suspect she's just sorry that she got caught not being an a-hole.
I mean, that's fair, but we can never know, right? Like there is no answer, Luis, to that. You can't win or lose. So if she was sorry or not, no answer is going to satisfy, right? So if you don't believe her that she apologized and the staffer accepted it, there's no way for her to prove it. So, right? So she could have apologized. The staffer could have accepted it, that she did work for her for 4 years. So there's that evidence. But if you don't believe it, only that she got caught, how does she prove otherwise? So it is what it is. Either you like her, you believe her, or you don't. It is what it is. Suanne says, alternatively, running the fourth biggest economy in state is something a self-made billionaire would know how to do. Maybe. I mean, you don't get there by yourself, right?
There's a lot of things. The way the government runs, the way the state government runs is a little different than, the way you run your company or your hedge fund, right?
And how did you get the billions? Steyer made his money off of the prisons and all those sorts of things. And and just remember, exactly how that money, it's not like he was toiling in the fields and made billions, right? It's compound interest. I don't know. I'm scared, but I don't know that I'm not saying I'm voting for Steyer.
Right. I'm
not. But I do like the fact that I'm feeling like it's less going to be two Republicans. Does that make sense? I'm less concerned about that.
Do you think it will be two Democrats?
I'm hoping. I don't think that Bianco or what's his face made enough of
Hilton.
Thank you. Obviously, every single Republican in California is going to vote for one of them. Right. But are they coalesced behind one to beat all of the other, votes for the Democrats? Rhonda says, I'm sorry, but I can't take this attack on Katie Porter. Dang, tired of women having to be perfect. Exactly. I completely agree. Yeah. None of the criticism that's against Katie Porter would be leveled at the same level, at least, against a man. Oh my God, he yelled at a staffer. Can you imagine that headline? Please. So insert male name over Katie Porter's and it would not happen. Give me a break. He yelled at a staffer. Please. No, it wouldn't. At least not to the same extreme. Donald Trump threw a plate with ketchup against a fucking wall. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got a headline, but he's still friggin' president. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
If you believe the testimony to the January 6th committee, physically assaulted the person driving, right? Didn't he try to grab somebody or whatever? So,
Yeah, I don't know.
Guys, there's no male candidate would have been criticized for the same level as Katie was. And I do agree with that. I think no male candidate would have been criticized in that way. Mm-hmm.
Let me just play I did take a couple of clips.
Please, let's play them.
Let me play. Okay, so here's Chad Bianco. I do have a couple of clips. Let me play a couple of clips. Here's Chad Bianco talking about the gas tax. Let's hear what he had to say. Hold on. I got to share my screen first. It always takes me forever. Here we go.
We only have the highest gas price in the country because of Democrat policies that are absolutely destroying the oil industry, the automobile industry, and forcing those prices up, forcing our refineries out of the state, forcing our oil companies from drilling in our state. When you send oil, make it into gasoline and send it to across state lines, and it miraculously becomes $2 cheaper, you know that your state is the problem.
Now, I understand the criticism about our gas tax. Matt Mahan actually had a different response to this one, which I actually agree with. So this is what Mahan had to say, and I think it's what a lot of people are actually saying right now. So.
Well, Nikki, Frank, it's great to be here with you this evening. I'm the only candidate on this stage who has called for suspending the gas tax and reforming it so it no longer is the most regressive tax in California that's putting an undue burden on working families like the one I grew up in. Look, I'm in this race because we deserve better answers. We deserve better answers than we've been getting from the other candidates on this stage. We don't need a billionaire who made his money in private prisons and oil and gas that he's now supposedly against, or Trump's handpicked candidate or a DC insider who the Sacramento establishment is now rallying around. Let me tell you who I am. I grew up in Watsonville, working class family. My mom was a teacher. My dad was a union mailman. I know what it means when gas prices go up $1 or $2 unnecessarily. I'll reform the gas tax so it's no longer the poorest, hardest working people in our state who are paying an unfair share to maintain our infrastructure.
Yeah, he had said something more about suspending the gas tax. I pulled the wrong one. But I think that the gas tax obviously needs to be reformed, but the Hilton Bianco idea of just getting rid of it completely, the problem I have with both of them is they're not speaking to the California, I don't want to use the word ideals. We care about the environment. There's they didn't speak to why we have the gas tax.
That's right.
And that's what they're forgetting. I think that we should do something when, oil spikes to a certain number. We need to do something about that. Right. I don't think that we should, burden, gas powered car drivers and let the EV drivers off the hook, right? There needs to be some sort of fairness involved in all of it, but you can't forget that Californians give a shit about the environment and don't want all this crap spewing into the air. That's not California.
It is true that over the years, because remember how, I don't know, when I was little, LA, you drive down to go to Disneyland and it would drive down, get it? But it would be thick soup.
Still is. Number one today. Came out worst air in America.
I saw a couple of days ago on Earth Day, I saw this article about the worst air in the cities for air in the country. 3 are in California. Yeah. Bakersfield, somewhere else in the Central
LA
Valley.
And Visalia.
LA, yeah. So those 3. So if our gas tax is going to clean up our air and clean up our environment, why do we have some of the worst air in the country in certain areas where kids are breathing in crap and getting asthma? Why do we have that going on?
Well, a lot of it has also to do with, just the makeup of the topography. Yeah, the topography of our.
I get it, but I think we can do better at that.
Well, exactly. But what we also don't want to do is go backwards. You know what I mean? And I think also what we were trying to do is what Newsom always loves to say, right? As California goes, so does the rest of the nation. We were hoping to be the leader, right? So if California leads the nation, for instance, in I like hybrids, but EV cars,
Right.
then we promote it and we become a big buyer of it. And then
Mhm.
more auto manufacturers make them. And then more people across the country buy them. And so then the air gets cleaner in other parts outside of California. That is the goal. But then you have a-holes in Washington who remove the incentives and want to roll things back, and then it becomes even harder. So these are the things. And I know that the United States isn't in a bubble, and if China doesn't do it and the air moves, and I understand all of this, but it doesn't mean we don't try, right? Like it doesn't mean, I don't keep my house clean just because my neighbor's house is trashed, right?
Mhm.
Like you do your part and you just try.
Right.
But I do also think that it's expensive to live in California. And when gas is high, you have to give people a break. It doesn't mean we don't believe in keeping clean air, but we also have to live in this economy. So there has to be a balance. And that's what I liked. That's what I thought Matt Mahan was talking about, is there has to be some sort of trigger where we can, fluctuate when certain things happen. And if you
Mhm.
don't do that, then I think you're ignoring the needs of California and Californians. And so, that I think is where there was a big blind spot for the GOP candidates, and where the Democrats could really capitalize and really hammer on and hammer to also Republican voters, because they're in the same boat. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see.
I like this comment. Cindy
Let's
says,
see.
I got tired of hearing Republicans say 2 decades of Democratic policies harm California, forgetting Arnold left California with debt, and the first Trump refused to buy bulk PPE and made
Mhm.
states outbid each other to protect
Mhm.
people from COVID. Yeah, that's all true. Thank you, Cindy, for the contribution as well.
I think people, forget that Arnold was a Republican candidate. Absolutely.
Mhm. Luis says, aloha, ladies. He's in Hawaii.
I
Things
love
suck
that.
much less on a beautiful day on a beach in Hawaii after 4
Mm.
Mai Tais. Porter lost me already. I'd vote for either of you before her. Much love from
Oh.
Waikoloa.
Okay, so you're not voting for
Thank you, Louise.
Porter.
Yeah.
Louise, put down the Mai Tai for one more second to type. Who are you going to vote for then? Okay, does Steyer have your vote? Because don't throw away your vote. Now, I will say, God, it's so hard to say who the front runner is right now. According to Kalshi, is that how you pronounce it? Kalshi, the predictive gambling website. They're saying Steyer is the front runner. Now with Bernie's organization, Our Revolution, throwing his support behind it, would you vote for Steyer? That's my question. Now I'll ask all of you. I know Kim's a no, or at least right now you're a no, right? I don't know if you're a no.
On Steyer, yeah, I don't think so.
For the primary. Now, obviously, I want to vote for whatever Democrat is in it. Like, if it's 2 Democrats, though, who do you want to see as your 2 Democrats?
If it's Becerra Steyer, I'll go Becerra. If it's Porter Steyer, I'll go Porter. If it's
Steyer and any other Democrat, are you any other Democrat?
No, there's some of them not. There's some more that weren't on the stage that I probably wouldn't. I'd probably take him over them.
I'm not voting for anybody that wasn't on the stage.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Mahan Steyer, that's a hard one.
Ooh, that's a good question.
If it's Mahan or Steyer, I think I might go Steyer.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Mahan. I just don't think he's ready for prime time.
Well, it's not like Steyer has any friggin' political experience.
No, that's true. I don't know. What do you, if that's your matchup, what do you choose?
Mahan or Steyer? Oh, I don't know either. That would be a hard one for me. That would be really hard. I like Steyer as my mayor. I kind of I'm leaning towards voting for Steyer just to keep Mahan as my mayor. Like finish your job, dude. Suann makes a good point. If it's 2 Dems, I'll compare their issues and policies. Sandy says not Steyer. I don't know. Because again, I will be honest with you. Bernie's organization throwing their support around behind Steyer gives me pause. Mm-hmm. I am a Bernie supporter. I am. So it's weird for me. But again, I don't believe billionaires should exist. I don't. But I like the idea that he's willing to give it up. And then it's like, is he telling the truth? Do we trust billionaires? I don't know.
And he still says Kamala Harris is.
She ain't in the race, my friend.
Not in the
She
race.
ain't writing in anybody. Come on now.
She's going to run for president, which is a whole nother thing.
Oh, please don't.
No.
I'm sorry. I just don't.
And I like her.
I like her too. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Again, I'm voting for Porter in the primary.
Yeah.
I'm voting for Porter in the primary. That's who I'm voting for. I've already said this. I'm not changing my vote. That's who I'm voting for. If she makes it to the general, I'm voting for Porter. Okay. But I don't know if she's not in it, who I'm voting for. It matters who's in it. I'm saying it now because I love to hedge my bets like early. I'm still a Pete president. I just am. Unless Barack Obama throws his hat in the race again, I'm voting for Pete Buttigieg. I want Pete as president. I'm sorry. I just do. I know you're trying to pop my balloon with that all the time, Kim, but I just love him. I love him.
Trust me, I love him too. But
I just believe within my soul, America is ready for him. I just do.
We're ready for him. We're
just know.
We're California
so
liberal. We love him.
Oh,
but I think there's some people, I'm sorry if you're a Nebraska liberal, but there are some people in Nebraska or whatever state, Alabama, pick your red state. There's some people in some red state somewhere that are like, I'm not going to vote for that.
I just can't believe that. I just can't. Well, did you hear about, Kalshi, besides saying that Sire was in the front, did you also hear that they've suspended 3 congressional candidates for betting on their own races? So apparently Ezekiel Enriquez of Texas, Matt Klein of Minnesota, and Mark Moran of Virginia wagered on the outcomes of their own elections. I don't think Kalshi should be able to do politics. Should we be able to vote on politics? I don't think so. Or gamble on politics.
You can gamble on anything, right?
I think it should be illegal. I think there ought to be a law. There ought to be a law that you cannot gamble on politics.
Is there a law that says you can't bet on yourself if you're running in a race?
Yeah. Well, Kalshi says you can't. It's part of their rules. You can't.
It's part of their new rules? I don't know. I mean, what says confidence more than, putting however much money, $1,000 on Nikki to win?
No, what the guy bet on was that he was going to enter the race.
Oh, that's easy money.
He's like, I'm going to enter the race, and then he entered the race.
For or against?
Yeah, no. I don't think that predictive gambling should be involved in politics at all. I think I think if anything is going to ruin politics, it's adding money to it, but that's it. If you're going to bet with your friends, don't do it on something like this. You know what I mean? Tallarico has the best chance for presidency. Perhaps. I do like him. I like him, but not as much as Pete.
Yeah.
I really, really don't. Did you see, speaking of I like Tallarico because he does the whole separation of church and state, that Donald Trump is participating in this whole reading of the Bible thing?
I saw that.
What the fuck?
I think the Bible will burst into flames and burn.
I'm surprised he's touching it. He didn't touch it when he did the swearing in. I'm surprised he's touching it. I bet it's going to be like on a like a dais or something.
They keep doing these events at the Bible Museum. This is like their new hotspot for the Trump events.
Why does he keep doing these? I have no idea why he keeps. I mean, maybe he thinks he's going to get in if he just keeps reading the Bible out loud. I don't know.
Maybe he thinks the more he reads from the Bible, people will actually believe that he believes in the Bible.
Nobody believes that. Nobody actually believes it. I don't know. I just feel like politics is getting to be too much like sports anyway. Why are we adding gambling to it? You know what I mean? It's too scary. I don't like it. I really, really don't. No politics involved at all. But I did find it funny that that some of those candidates were kicked out just for voting on their own thing. There was another headline that I saw because we were talking about Tom Steyer and billionaires. Who was this? Oh, NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, was at this Q&A at his company's developers conference in San Francisco. And he had this message where he was saying, don't leave California to all the tech billionaires. Apparently he says, I say to everybody, move to California. Don't leave. It has the highest taxes in the world, but it's okay. The weather is great. Apparently this came after Ro Khanna addressed the fear that AI would take jobs away from humans. He says, I think the narratives of AI destroying jobs is not going to help America. The majority of jobs at artificial intelligence companies are in the Bay Area, so the plug was likely aimed at tech workers looking to move to or stay in the Golden State, that according to SF Gate. But yeah, he's telling people that he would not move if like the billionaire tax passed. He says, we chose to live in Silicon Valley, and whatever taxes I guess that they would like to apply, so be it. He says, I'm perfectly fine with it. It didn't, and it never crossed my mind once to move out of California, basically.
Wow.
His net worth is around, now again, you understand how big a billion is, right? $174 billion is his net worth.
That's a lot of billions.
$174 billion. That is obscene. It should be illegal to be that wealthy. That's not even wealthy. I don't even think wealthy is a big enough word for how much money that guy has. So as SF Gate reports, that would mean approximately $8 billion. That would be the payment. I'm sorry, and I will say it, that's a drop in the bucket. If you have $174 billion, $8 billion is nothing. I don't give a shit. I know that's a lot of money. It's not when you have $174 billion. I just don't care. I really don't. I'm not playing any instrument at all for this guy. And for people to be like, you're stealing money out of their pocket. That's bullshit. That is such bullshit. I can't. His net, okay, right now his net worth is $174 billion. In January, so just a few months ago, it was $155 billion. So if he think about that difference, right? So more than $20 billion, $8 billion payment is nothing to him. Nothing. What are we arguing about? We should be taxing these people more. Think about all of the things we could provide people. Health insurance. That's it. I just want everyone to have health insurance. Do you know how many problems would be solved if everyone just had the best health insurance ever? So many problems would be solved.
Yes. What you said. Absolutely.
Louise says, Nikki, have you had more drinks than me? Are you living in the same America I'm living in? Love Pete. No way he wins the general election. Damn you, Louise. Damn you all. No, I love Pete. I don't care. I don't care. I will live in the world in which Pete Buttigieg has a chance to be president of the United States. I don't care. I will live in that world. I will believe that world can happen. I will. Yeah, no. I tax billionaires, tax them all the friggin' time. I just exactly name one billionaire, SJ Lola, besides Melinda French or Mackenzie Scott, who have used their money for good. And what do they have in common?
Taylor
They're
Swift.
women. They're women.
Can I bring up another story really quickly?
Please.
It kind of jogged my memory because you were talking about Trump reading the Bible, this whole Bible reading thing. And I had seen the story a couple days ago. The federal workers, many federal workers are coming forward saying they have been inundated with Christian messaging from their bosses, from their Trumpian bosses. Apparently, it's a trend that the people in the federal workforce are saying there's a boundary between church and state, and it is being full on trampled. People across multiple agencies and departments are being proselytized via email.
Is their signature?
They're getting invitations to worship services in government buildings. There's religious undertones. One person sent out an email, an Easter email with "He is risen" and all this religious stuff. There's a Department of Labor employee that was interviewed by Wired magazine who said generally people who are working for the government understand that their job is to work on behalf of all Americans, and this is something very different. This is explicitly Christian, and even within the realm of Christianity, a very narrow representation of that. I guess it goes along with Trump sending out memes of himself as Jesus. So
oh, geez. Oh, he was
this
a doctor. Don't
this
worry.
is what's going
Get it
on in
right.
our federal government. And then you have an appeals court in Texas saying they can post the 10 Commandments in every single
Ugh.
public school classroom in Texas.
No.
I'm sorry.
Reiki says religion is in the
oh.
workplace is why I retired from UC.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if it's a private company like what In-N-Out has their little religious things on the
logos
cups or whatever,
Whatever.
Hobby Lobby, like you know what you're
Mhm.
getting into with private
Right.
companies. Like you can
Sure.
leave or you can work there, you don't have to work
That's
there.
right. That's right.
If you work for the government, you should not have this forced down your throat. This whole President Trump reading the Bible fundamentally goes against what this country was founded in. Religious freedom is literally why people came here. Religious freedom. I understand that the actual people that came here might have Christian roots, but the reason, right? The reason was for religious freedom, right? Like the whole idea of America was based on that. For these Christian nationalists to latch on to this, oh, well, they were Christian. Read why we founded this country. And I'm tired of Christians putting themselves above others. And they only represent a sect, not even the whole faith. Exactly. And they don't even follow their own rules because what Trump did with that picture and how he talks, it's blasphemous, right? He makes them go against their own beliefs over and over again. So stop talking as if you guys, and I'm talking to those that defend Trump and are like that, speak for your religion. You gave that up a long time ago. So I believe the army has been infiltrated with Christianity. Yeah. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And again, I'm not one to I gave up on organized religion a long time ago. I use my religious upbringing as my kind of blueprint for how I relate to God, because I do believe in God, because that's the way, that's the blueprint I use. But as far as like the rules and regulations that my organized religion chooses, no, I'm done with that. I don't like that.
Well, and I don't send my kids to school so that they could be taught the 10 Commandments, unless there's a religious studies section where they're teaching all of the different religions.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be looking the entire year long at this "thou shalt accept no God before me" type of thing. I mean, I don't have a problem with the 10 Commandments, but if I wanted my kids to believe it or study it or take that as their moral values, then I would send them to a private Christian school.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I don't. I send them to public school where kids from all religions or kids that don't believe should be able to be fine and be there.
Well, I know a lot of people that send their kids to, Catholic or a Christian school just for the education. You know what I mean? They don't, and that's fine. And, they might be a completely different religion.
There are Jewish kids that go to Catholic school.
Exactly. Like they're like, I'm just doing it because, and that's fine. But I'm really curious on what they do when all this other prayer and stuff's happening. Do you fake it? Do you just go through the motions? I would imagine you do. So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I just saw this come over AP, which is interesting. Just to switch gears a second. And this broke today, not just the second. Amnesty International and the rights group have issued a World Cup travel advisory for the U.S. Did you see this?
No.
Warning tournament visitors of rising authoritarianism and increasing violence in the U.S. during Donald Trump's aggressive immigration enforcement.
Wow.
Because this is the kind of country that we're now in.
How embarrassing. What an embarrassment to the world. Ugh.
I mean, it's not surprising. The U.S. has seen a decline in international travelers since Trump returned to the White House last year and offended U.S. allies with talk of making Canada a U.S. state, taking control of Greenland, and questioning the value of NATO. The tourism industry is counting on a major boost from World Cup visitors, even as Trump's travel ban for citizens of 19 countries has injected further uncertainty. This, according to the Associated Press. The administration is betting that its push to expedite visa processing for visitors and excitement about the tournament will outweigh concerns that Trump's immigration messaging undercuts the theme of global unity that the World Cup is meant to represent. Don't worry. FIFA's president is a bootlicker, so I'm sure.
Yeah, they gave Trump the FIFA Peace Prize or whatever it was, right? Please. What a
I
joke.
created this just for you out of my own ball sack. There you go.
I did see that. I guess Trump is asking FIFA to replace the Iran team with one from, I want to say, Italy or somewhere else.
Oh, really? I didn't see
want
that
the
yet.
Iranian team to come to America. I saw that earlier today.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. I
Like, I guess so. It doesn't matter what their accomplishments are or that they deserve to play in a World Cup type of series. If they're Iranian, Trump doesn't want them here.
Speaking of being here or away, Ohio is trying to lure Californians to Ohio. Have you?
No, thanks.
Anyone from Ohio in the comments? Anybody know about Ohio? Oh, thank you, Louise, for the $5 donation. The Bible actually mandates not worshiping a golden calf. Dude is literally a talking cow that wants to make golden statues of himself. I know. Exactly. He is a walking sin. We know this, Louise. Thank you again for the donation. Anyone from Ohio? Anyone?
My dad lived in Ohio, in Hudson, Ohio, for a year or so.
Cedar Point is in Ohio, so I'd go back just to go because that's my favorite amusement park from my road trip. So
my thoughts about when I first rolled up to his house, there's no fences in between houses there, at least where he lived. And I thought that's weird.
Yeah.
They do things differently in Ohio. It was a pretty state, but there's no way I want to live there.
Well, the Midwest is apparently trying to lure a lot of Californians to Ohio. Jobs, Ohio. We always get these stories, right? It's so funny. All these stories about people trying to lure Californians. I never hear about California like being like, come. I don't feel like we give that much of a shit, but whatever. Jobs, Ohio is the state's economic development arm. It's spending heavily to get Californians to the state. They're offering incentives of up to $15,000 per worker.
Wow.
This is the message. If you like working twice as hard just to stay right where you are, go for it. But if you're ready to build, lead, and live, and really live in the heart of it all, Ohio is the second most affordable state to buy a home. Your move. You know what I thought of when I read this? And I don't know Ohio besides, Cedar Point. In 2 years or 3 years, you know what headline we're going to read? Too many fucking Californians moved to Ohio and it's unaffordable. And then they're going to hate Californians and blah, blah, blah. Stop it. Do you want us or do you not? It's just.
You know what it made me think of is, you know how they're trying to get rid of the Haitians in Ohio? You remember? What are they trying to get Californians to move in because they're trying to kick all the workforce that they really needed out? Is that what they're trying to do?
I have no idea. It's like, you want our money. That's what they want. They want our money, and then they're going to bitch that they have our money. It's so annoying. Yeah, exactly. Before they deport us, before they start egging California license plates. You know what I mean? They have a lot of bugs there. I do remember that from the summertime. Locusty type bugs they have there. But yeah, I can't live in tornado country. I'd follow a cat rescue in Ohio and I worry about them all. That's sad. I like Chicago this summer. Spencer says there's a reason Ohio and other Midwest states are affordable, harsh winters, humid summers, and bugs. Yeah. I was talking to my dad, who you guys all know is very conservative, but we had a great day today. I had to take him to the doctor. And so we were kind of laughing about stuff, but he will never, well, kind of, but we were talking about, semi. about moving places and
Mhm.
Florida and Texas and California. And I was like, look, when I open my door, you know why I don't want to move to Florida or Texas? Because when I open the door, I don't want to see Texas. I don't want to see Florida. I want to see California. And he's
Right.
like, and my dad, staunch conservative, he's like, yep. He's like, he's never leaving California. And he's a total Trumper. Like, there is a reason we pay to stay here. Like, you can say whatever you want, whatever conservative talking point you want.
Mhm.
There is a reason we're staying. It's because we don't want to deal with whatever, fill in the blank, whether it's bugs, humidity, tornadoes, hurricanes. There is a reason that we stay in paradise. And you can talk all the shit you want. Oh, the homeless, oh, the poop. Okay, fucking leave then. I don't care. I'm staying. Like, I don't care. I love California.
I'm
Absolutely love it.
sure that there are some proud Ohioans that
Oh,
love their
yeah.
state. That's great. The only problem with Texas is that you're surrounded by
By
Texas.
You open your door,
Thank you.
there's Texas. Exactly.
My apologies to Rhonda, who is in Texas. Yeah.
No, and again, like, I think that it's places to visit. It's not places for me to live. You know what I mean? Like, I love going to New Orleans. You guys knew I was so excited to go to New Orleans. You know, the great part of New Orleans is I visit and then I go home. You know, like, it is what it is. I like to travel and then I like to come home. I love where I live. Is it perfect? God, no. There's too many people because people live in paradise and they like it. It's fine. We were also debating, the high cost of housing and, my dad loves to say this is like all the rich people are going to live. I'm like, oh, because all the poor people are buying the multi-million-dollar homes everywhere. Really? I love all the really poor people buying all of these really, really expensive homes that never seem to go down in price. But yeah, it's a narrative that is always, it's been said for decades. If you keep taxing rich people, all the rich people are going to leave New York and California.
Right.
Okay, we're still waiting. We're
Right.
still waiting for all the rich people to
Well, I
leave.
have seen some articles that a couple of billionaires have checked out, but
Okay.
to that I say,
Bye. But it's not bringing
Enjoy.
down the housing prices. So who's buying all of these homes?
and then you see the stories about, there was some exodus during the pandemic of people leaving California to
Then they
work
came
from
back.
home and cheap, and then they all came back. They're like, oh, but I didn't realize it meant living there.
And
Right?
honestly, I read a lot of stories specifically about Texas where it's actually not as cheap as they thought it was going to be. Like, one part's cheap, like taxes, right?
Right.
But water and other things are way more expensive. And then you also realize the community is different. And, again, it's the door opening moment. And my door opening moment is right here in the Bay. Mexico is getting universal health care, so I'd be down with that. I just had a pretty long conversation with my husband about post-retirement. And I've said it. I'm like, there's no reason we have to stay in America. Like, retiring in America, I'm not talking about California. In America, if we don't get our healthcare situation by the time we retire, there is no freaking way I'm wasting what we save for retirement on healthcare.
We'll be lucky if by the time we retire, Social Security is still in place.
Exactly. But
Where
I
do
mean,
you
I'm
think you
saving
wanna
for my
go?
retirement. I'm not blowing it on healthcare. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I want to do, I even talked about it. I'm like, those stories about people that live on cruise ships? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, we might do that because they have a doctor on board. As long as we have our health, and
Right.
maybe we'll just do that.
See the world.
See the world, travel, live on a boat, but you will bleed through your retirement
Yeah.
if you don't have like a good healthcare plan or a pension or something like that. If America doesn't get it together with healthcare, and maybe Tom Steyer will be the answer. Who the hell knows? But I don't know. Texas property taxes on par with California. Doesn't Texas have something, some sort of tax that we have here that they don't have there? I thought, but still, it's not cheaper necessarily when you move out of California everywhere. Everyone loves to talk about it, but it's not necessary. And you're not in California anymore. And I like it here. I absolutely like it here. Not everything. I mean, some things are freaking stupid. You know what I mean? But like this story, I'm going to play you this video.
Okay.
Did you see this story? Hold on. Let me bring it up. I'm going to play you this story by, KTVU did the story about this store in San Francisco. And we talk a lot about AI on this show. And I don't like AI at all. I know that it's integrated into our life and it's here to stay. But when you watch this story that KTVU did, I want you to tell me what sticks out to you, because AI, I want to do the thing I don't want to do, not the thing I do want to do. And I feel like this is a prime example of it doing the opposite thing. Okay. So here we go. Okay, hold on. It's playing a commercial. Hold on. Okay, so this is a store. It's a new store in San Francisco. It's called Andon Market, and it opened up a couple of weeks ago in the Cow Hollow neighborhood. Okay, and here
That's kind of hoity-toity.
Is it hoity-toity?
Marina. Yeah, that's fancy.
Okay, so here we go.
San Francisco is testing what happens when the owners let AI run the business. Inside Andon Market on Union Street, human employees stock the shelves, but an AI agent named Luna is in charge of hiring, ordering, and turning a profit for that boutique. The owners of the market say they signed a 3-year lease for the store, put $100,000 into a bank account, and gave Luna access to the company debit card.
We want to put demonstrations like this out in the public to raise these questions and to start a discussion of what is the future we want? How does that look?
Luna was able to get the store up and running on its own. It designed a logo and hired contractors, but there have been a few hiccups, including ordering errors and a scheduling error that forced the store to close for 3 days. Yeah, 3 years to figure it out.
Okay. Now, would you want to be the worker, or would you want to be the boss that made the schedule and do all of that? Like, I don't know. Like, I was listening to that story and I'm like, which job would you rather have? Because I didn't know what to want. I'm like, I guess working and being within the store sounded okay, but the AI was actually the boss, right?
Yeah, the AI is the boss. The AI came up with the logo, devised the store, orders the stuff, makes the schedule, hires the people, everything.
And then the other people were just the
worker bees.
The worker bee.
Yeah.
Which one would you want to do?
Neither.
Well, I mean, obviously. I mean, if you were going to work for the company, which one would you rather do?
I don't think I would want to work for AI, but I guess that's the way it's going. Apparently, we're all.
Well, no, it's a store. It's a store. Like, you're just working for the clothing store. So would you want to be the person that's doing the scheduling, the ordering, the handling the books, or would you want to be the one? Yeah, the manager. Or would you want to be the one working inside the store?
Well, I don't know what to make of the question. I guess I would want the managerial position,
right?
Because that's where the money is. Though, I mean,
but do they pay AI? I guess they eliminated that job, right?
That's right. They don't have to pay AI.
They don't have to pay that person.
But I wouldn't take a job working for AI.
No.
I guess I think this is an experiment, and it's kind of a kitschy thing, and people will go in to see it and whatever. I just think we all have a choice as to where to spend our money. And I've talked about this before, voting with your wallet, right?
Yes.
And I wouldn't go into that store or spend a dime there because I choose not to vote for AI to take over our society like this. I just don't want that. So I would want to spend my money where I could help people, where I could make a difference in my community. As a matter of fact, we have a listener, her name is Elise, and she has a baking company, and she's doing by mail orders. And I had her thing on the another show earlier. And so I feel like that's what I choose, is to support real human beings.
Thank you.
That are local, that make a difference in their community, that, I know they need the money and they need the support or whatever it is. AI doesn't need my money. AI doesn't need my support. Why would I walk into that store and spend a single penny?
I don't understand why they're investing in AI like this. That's my question. Like, why? The guy was saying is like, it's an experiment to see what exactly. We're eliminating the top position, right? Like, we're eliminating the management position, which arguably is the higher paid job. So instead of, and I understand, like, AI can't, unless you make a robot, hang the clothes. We're taking away the higher paying job from humans that need it in an area in which you need a higher paying job. And I just feel like we're accelerating so quickly towards a reality that we don't want, acting as if we do not have control over this. And it just pisses me off. I don't know. And this is why, I love living in the Bay Area, but these stories piss me off.
The AI experts will say this is inevitable. All of these jobs, even the jobs where people are moving stock in the store, all of these jobs will be AI. And eventually, you and I will just get paid to stay home. We'll get a living wage, right? Because AI is taking care of everything. And we won't need to work or want for anything because AI will take it all over. I just don't feel that's the way I want humanity to go.
But it won't be that way. It won't be that way because it will be beholden to somebody, something. We're not going to live in the lap of luxury. They're not going to give us luxury. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen.
There's been a couple stories recently about celebrities, including, was it Reese Witherspoon? Someone who said, we all need to learn AI. That I agree with. Okay, because, and I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing where my husband works for a tech company and they tell him he needs to spend a certain amount of time using AI or employing AI in his work.
Right.
They want you to understand it because they want you to be able to, I guess, be up enough on it that that this is the next technology coming.
I feel like they want you to learn AI so that you can teach AI your job, and then they're going to eliminate you. Yeah, everything that you teach AI, it's learning from you. I don't like to teach AI anything. I feel like every time somebody uses AI for their job, AI is learning your job. Does that make sense?
So this is behind scenes baseball, but I had this big debate with my husband the other day because I got frustrated because Mark wanted me to change something show related because he had put it through AI, and AI gives you opinions about, what's going to be more popular with a crowd or whatever that you ask AI. And I was like, why is he asking AI when I'm a human being with a real opinion? Like, why does that matter? And my husband was like, listen, this is the way we're going to do things from now on. Mark is right and you are wrong, because this is how we are going. AI has more access to
all the different
data and all the different whatever they are, algorithms, and you don't. And so that's why AI's opinion is more valuable than yours. What?
Oh yeah, but they're absolutely. He's absolutely true. It's as if your brain isn't able to scan all of the, let's just say news, right? Because we're talking news, all of the news sites to gather which sites are being clicked on the most. Like, you're not physically able to do that because you're not an effing computer, right? You're never going to be able to compete with a computer, but that computer that it's skimming from had human input.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. Every time a human puts it into that computer, they're freely giving up that AI is then skimming and giving up. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can learn AI, but what is actually happening is AI is learning you and making you obsolete. And so, again, I know I use AI. Everyone's using AI, but I don't want to. And I listened to some news story about people. It was a job using AI, and they're like, I understand that I'm basically making myself obsolete as I'm learning this thing.
Yeah.
Or even building the AI farms that are going to probably learn your job and take you away. Like, what is the end game here? Like, it might pay you well now, but the more and more it learns, the less they need you. And I don't trust, just like we're talking about billionaires, I don't trust these AI companies have humans' well-being in mind. You know what I mean? I just don't.
Tony says, hey, Tony. He says, I'm about to replace my own roof by myself, only learning how through AI. Let's see how it goes. I love AI. It's teaching me a skill. And I think that's what people like Reese Witherspoon are saying. She's looking back at, how when the internet first, came about, like, was that the early 90s ish?
Yeah.
Late 80s, where more and more people started becoming people that were online. But there was a segment of the population that was like, what do we need that for? Right. It's the same thing as now, where I'm looking at AI going, what do I need that for? As someone just said, if you have Google, that's all you really need. You're fine. this is a different technology to move us forward, and we have to embrace it or we get left behind. And I have a really hard time with it because I don't care about it. I'm fine not using it. I don't feel like I need it. But I also feel like if I don't embrace it, or I don't learn it, or I don't um, employ it in my daily life, that the society, the world will move on without me, and I'll get left in the dust like those old people with a corded phone line, the old phone.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
don't know
mean,
what's right.
again, I feel like I don't feel like you can even avoid it anymore. It's like avoiding a telephone or a cell phone,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
at some point it's just going to be so integrated into life that there's no way that you're going to be able to avoid it. I think I've mentioned before that there's this movie coming out about AI that I'm not going to go watch because the preview alone scares the crap out of me.
Mhm.
Because it's two different viewpoints about AI, how scary it is and how groundbreaking it's going to be. And really the crux of it is going to be humans, right? Like how
Yeah.
we employ it is whether it's going to be for our well-being or our demise.
Mhm.
And forgive me if I don't think that we're going to use it appropriately. You know what I mean? I don't have much faith in humans. Although I shouldn't say that because, we're still around. We had the A-bomb. We're still here.
Jim says Chat GPT, once I trained it, saved me putting mundane, repetitive tasks into my business. I love it, but I'm a one-person business, and it's almost like having an assistant. My best friend said she loves Chat GPT. I said, why? What do you do with it? I mean, she doesn't have a need for it, really. She
Right.
said, I ask it, she said, for free, they let you ask 3 questions a day. And I love my 3 questions.
What
She
are
said
her 3 questions?
Oh, she gets all kinds of recipes and information on
But
cooking.
Google
Like,
can do that for you. Like,
she loves it. It's different. She says it's different. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to it that I'm missing.
I feel like, again, and I don't use Chat GPT like that, but I feel like we're lonely. Like you can ask Google 3 questions a day.
Karen says fear of missing out is not a good basis for anything, and she's totally right.
I don't know. I do believe that there's really good learning a new skill. Learning how to do something is great. Google can do that for you. We don't need to have all these computers that use up so much electricity and water do that for you. You don't need to ask ChatGPT for a new recipe when
Mhm.
Google can do that for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're overusing ChatGPT and AI for things that are not necessary.
Yeah.
I just don't.
This is also something my husband said. If you have to use AI, use Claude because Anthropic is less evil. That's what he said too. So and
Okay.
that's what Vanessa says. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And exactly. Oh, yeah, listen equals live. Somebody, hold on. Books exist.
Mhm.
Exactly. Reading, writing. And I will also say this, we are also losing the capacity to use our own brains. And that is fundamentally more serious, I think, than anything else. Because remember, people are like, people will forget how to do math with the calculator. But I feel like what we're losing with Chat GPT is creativity, right?
Mhm.
Write me, for like a lot of people use it for business, write me a business plan. Okay. Now, while that will save you a shit ton of time, okay, there is also something for sitting down with a pen and paper and struggle, right? Like, there is something to be said with the art of struggling and messing up and being surrounded by sheets of paper that you've torn up and scribbled out. There is a gift in that. There is a gift in not just accepting the first output of a computer and being like, that's it. Right? I mean, am I wrong here?
No, I completely agree with you. Michelle says, I'm going to be against AI until there's a software that will allow AI not to confuse the boundaries between the real and the fake. And that's where my problem lies with it.
Yeah. Gordon says it scares me to death that military cannot put an AI in control of a weapon
Yeah.
that could put AI. Yeah, exactly. It scares me that somebody could say, what's the worst thing, for instance, for how do we protect the planet? And they're like, destroy humans, right? Like, Probably. What's the worst thing that happened to planet Earth? How do you save planet Earth? Get rid of the human race.
That's right. I mean, if you're asking AI, what an easy solution. Look at all the problems we cause: war, pollution, all kinds of trouble, right?
I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. And if you put too much, again, it's like, was it a self-fulfilling prophecy with the Terminator? I mean, seriously, like, what did we just do this to ourselves?
Rhonda uses AI to write product descriptions, then just edits it so much easier. My brain is tired. And that's great for Rhonda because Rhonda knows how to write, right? Rhonda is using it as a tool to help her.
Right.
But what about all the kids right now learning how to write who rely on AI and they don't learn that skill?
Here's a good,
whole generation of people that can't write to save their own skin, right?
Here's an anecdotal story. Well, it's not anecdotal. It actually happened at my school. Student took a paper, wrote out the paper, and I know this because they came through the office, put it into Grammarly. Everyone knows Grammarly.
Right.
It is AI, right?
Grammarly's AI?
Yes.
I thought it was just like an auto grammar spell checker thing.
Well, what do you think that is?
I didn't know it was AI.
Well, who's doing it? Who's doing it? The computer's doing it. That's technically AI, right? Like it's using an intelligence to edit it. Is there just a little mouse in there doing all the editing? Okay, so yes. So anyways, they put it through Grammarly, and instead of like just editing the paper in Google Docs, they took it straight from Grammarly and submitted it. And the teacher put it through an AI detector and it dinged. And so they had to redo the whole entire, they're like, no, they got an F on it. And the teacher, and they were like, no, I just put it through Grammarly. It was really our thing. And the teacher's like, no. And then I think they had to go to the tech department and see if they could find the original doc and like do all this other crap to prove that they actually wrote it and it wasn't AI, but it triggered the AI thing. And thankfully the teacher bought it. But,
my daughter is taking English 1A or English 101 or whatever it is at the junior college. Rather than taking AP English at school. It's the same class and she automatically gets the college credit. So it was worth it to her. But at the college, and I don't know if high school teachers do this as well, they put, as you mentioned, every single paper through an AI checker.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And it comes back with a percentage of likelihood that you have used AI to write this paper, which is against policy. If it's like 20% chance, they don't usually say much to you, right? Because that could be wrong. But if it's, I think 50% chance or over, then you have to, your first offense is you have to rewrite the paper. And then your second offense is they could boot you from the class or fail you or whatever. And then the third offense is you could be expelled. Yeah. So it depends on how many times you try to pull that baloney.
And it's hard because sometimes AI is wrong or the AI detector is wrong. And that has been documented. You know what I mean? I mean, even the AI detector is AI. So it's like this loop, right? It's how do you know who's right and who's wrong? There's tells, dashes are very common. I read one article where the word moreover is commonly used by AI essays. Moreover is a term, I guess like that word, AI likes. Moreover. So certain phrases, I don't know if that's just common, but but it should be in your own writing. But teachers have to expect kids are going to use it. And so there should be a way of incorporating it while making sure that the kids understand the lesson, right? So for me, I would make kids start either verbally or testing them in a different way, having projects instead of, essays, for instance, some other way than just an essay, because obviously an essay is the easiest thing to use AI for, or make them write. You know what I mean? People need to work on their penmanship anyway. Because even if they use AI for it, putting pen to paper makes them learn it. So if you used AI, at least you wrote it. You know what I mean? So they're learning it in some sense, so I don't know, but it's hard to be a teacher.
Sausalito Vicky says, my sister, the physics professor, caught a grad student using AI and wants to expel him. At that level, if you're a grad student and you're like getting your master's or your doctorate and you're using AI, I don't know. See, and this is the thing. On one hand, they're telling us all, learn AI, use AI. This is the upcoming thing. And then when people do it in certain settings, they get busted for it. So
Right.
I think we haven't figured out as a society how we want to handle this yet, what we want to do with it yet.
Well, I'm scared like they're all your doctor, your future doctors are using AI, and you're like,
No.
I'm not a robot, I swear. I swear.
Yeah.
Ren says there are writing programs that professors can use to track the students' keystrokes and mark the times and some other strategies so that they can tell that it's written by a human. Oh, that's interesting.
Wow. Like if you pause or if, between words.
Yeah.
I guess AI doesn't pause, does it? That's interesting.
No, it just goes, there you go.
You're done.
It's true. I mean, again, you can't act like the technology isn't there and that they're not going to use it, but you have to figure out, you have to get more creative on how you test people, So yeah.
And then there's this. Spencer says AI is wrong most of the time. As we saw in that piece that you showed about the store, AI screwed up the scheduling, so the whole place had to shut down. AI is not perfect yet. AI is not ready for, to be used in serious situations yet most of the time. I don't think. Until it's perfected. Like, I know they're trying to use it in medicine and they say it catches all these mistakes in medicine, but I would still argue that even so, it's not perfect.
Oh God, no.
And it makes mistakes that a normal person wouldn't, like glaring errors. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm really, really hesitant on incorporating AI into my life, and I'm sure as shit not teaching it my job. Yeah, don't teach it your job. You're just like the freaking radio chick that was like, I'm teaching it how to do my job. Like,
she puts her voice into the AI, then no.
You're an idiot. Can I do another quick political inaccuracy story though that cracked me up just because we're talking about it? It has to do with Kash Patel's lawsuit against The Atlantic. Did you see this? You've heard about FBI Director Kash Patel suing The Atlantic because they were saying that he's drunk all the time and he's suing them for defamation, right? Well, Newsweek says the defamation lawsuit filed this week by Kash Patel contained multiple spelling and copy editing errors, including misspelled words and formatting inconsistencies in passages sharply criticizing the magazine's journalistic standards. The 19-page complaint, which was filed Monday, accuses The Atlantic and one of its reporters of knowingly publishing false and defamatory claims. Anyways, so a close review reveals basic spelling errors. Okay, for instance,
maybe he should have used Grammarly.
That's what I'm saying. So hold on, I just lost my spot. Okay, so instead of saying feeble, spelled F-E-E-B-L-E, he spelled it F-E-A-B-L-E. Instead of policies spelled properly, he spelled basically politics with an E-S at the end. He misspelled disgust with like I discussed something. He spelled that wrong.
He probably was drunk when he wrote it.
That's what everyone's saying. They're saying if 3 typos in a 19-page complaint filed just days after The Atlantic's bogus, this is Kash Patel's, bogus stories is the best a left-wing publication can muster, we feel pretty great about our case. But other people are saying, this isn't a small thing. Like, you're submitting a lawsuit that actually had to go through several people. Like, this is not a minor thing for you to be submitting, especially when you're seeking $250 million in damages. It should, and you're asking for, like, you're complaining about accuracy, fact checking, and you're not even doing the basic crap yourself.
Right.
Yeah. So none of these errors affect the substance of the allegations or whatever. I think that it's, the defamation thing, you would have to prove, one, that they knew that they were lying, obviously, and that they wanted to commit, but all you would have to really show is Kash Patel. One, I know acting in the Olympics, he was on his own time. Shouldn't have even been there, though. It's not hard to see him partying all the time. I don't think obviously he doesn't have a case. One of his other things against a reporter just got thrown out as well.
They have the Atlantic. They say they have like dozens, if not, I think at least 20 or more reports of Pete from workers that work at the DOJ with Kash Patel or
Yeah.
around him in some capacity. They have done their homework. They're not going to publish that. I believe a publication like The Atlantic is not going to publish without serious proof and sources that
Exactly.
they can pinpoint. They have likely pictures and videos.
I would hope
and
so.
Personal accounts, and come on. I mean,
Well, especially because of how litigious the Trump administration and the cabinet are, you better have it. You'd be stupid not to. And Hilo Karen's absolutely right. When he was asked outright about the article and whether it was true, he did everything he could not to answer. He looked at everyone. He's like, "Who believes that?" I mean, that's not an answer. Like, I would have raised my hand. Like, I believe it. Like, you're a dumbass. Yeah, he's so stupid. Well, whatever. I just thought it was funny because we were talking about typos. He just looks, he looks like something's wrong. At the very least, he looks like something is wrong, or he's done something wrong. Either or. He looks either he's done something wrong, he knows something's wrong. Something's wrong with that guy.
He's on the way out.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, when he's the next to be fired.
This whole cabinet is just an embarrassment.
It's even
they're
more
all
than-
stupid.
and scary. It's or even more than embarrassing. It's scary because now we've got, a country at war. We've probably got a lot of threats coming in. I don't know what the national intelligence people are looking at, but I would imagine that the level of threats against the United States probably, rises when there's this type of operation going on and when we're doing what we're doing in the world. And so you've got an FBI that needs to protect America. You've got a federal law enforcement agency who needs to be at the top of their game. And the leader is not at the top of his game.
They
He's
never
hardly
have
even-
been.
Maybe it's better that he doesn't come to work. Maybe it's better that he's passed out so the grown-ups in the room can actually do what the job that needs to be done.
Who are the grown-ups?
The people that have been working at the FBI for a long time, right? That haven't been fired yet. That
was like,
managed to still
Is there
keep
anyone
their job.
left?
I don't know if there are any left, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed.
Everyone keeps getting fired, you know what I mean? Or leaving or something. I'm scared that there aren't any adults in the room. It's I don't know. It's absolutely frightening. It's too many people that are yes men and women that are just not holding this person. I cannot wait for the next election. I really hope it goes the way that we're praying it goes. That he's going to be a lame duck president, that we're going to not, I don't know, that it's just going to go by quickly, that he's not going to be able to do more damage than he's already done. That's all I pray for. That's really just all I'm praying for.
I have a story that I wanted to tell you that because this is a story about Trump's approval rating, and the headline reads "Nixon resignation territory. New poll spells massive trouble for Trump."
I
So
wish.
if this is the way
He
people
will
are
never.
feeling, these are the numbers.
Okay.
So this is a poll, a Strength in Numbers Verisight poll.
Okay.
They looked at more than 1,500 U.S. residents over age 18, days after Trump made that threat toward Iran to obliterate them, right, earlier this month.
Uh-huh.
And after that, it found 55% of American adults backed a House impeachment vote, 37% opposed the move, 8% unsure. So those numbers apparently are similar to what Watergate numbers at the peak of the scandal that led Nixon to resign in 1974. Totally different personalities. I have no doubt that Trump is not resigning, but if we do manage to flip the House or the Senate or both, I think the momentum it will swell even amongst lawmakers, and I think that he could have a good chance of being tossed out on his ass. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I hope so. He said the 55% figure is unusual by modern impeachment polling standards. So
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I want it to be true. I want it to I believe it. I just want it to matter.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like we see these numbers, we see that it's bad, but it doesn't in the past, it just doesn't matter because nothing's done with it. Like, it's just like all of these Republicans that still, or possible cabinet members or nominees that still will not admit that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Like, the fact that there are still people that can't say those words out loud makes me realize that he still has this lock on people. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like, you could just tell him to kick rocks. It really is not that big of a deal. He's a complete predator, insane person. You could just be like, yeah, he lost it. What is he going to do to you? What is he going to do? Yes, he lost the election. Obviously, and they always have to, well, obviously we certified the election. No, he lost. He lost the election. And if you can't say that, then you've drank Kool-Aid and you're insane and should not be anywhere near Washington, D.C. Like, and that's what bothers me about these people. So when the more that happens or continues to happen, the less I am confident that these poll numbers matter. And I wish that it did. I don't know. It just drives me nuts. It just absolutely drives me nuts. And I just can't believe we're still debating 2020. It's 2026. Are you freaking kidding me right now? You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. Give me a friggin' break.
And then, Nikki, there's this guy. This guy.
Who's that?
Is a New York City police officer.
Okay.
He has 547 speeding tickets and he still has a job.
He's a police officer?
547 speeding tickets.
And I get one and I lose my license.
Giovansanti. He's an NYPD officer, the second worst speeder in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He lives and works in Staten Island, apparently. He's been issued more than 547 speeding tickets in his home borough since 2022, and he's still on the job. So he's supposed to be protecting the public and being kind of a model for public safety, right? Because he's a cop. And here he is whipping around in his big old truck, 547 speeding tickets.
Okay, so I'm reading this article and they don't say what's I'm skimming it really quickly. So they don't say the fastest that he's gone, but he gets a speeding ticket if he goes 11 miles or over, which is, that's fair. Okay, let me just ask you guys real quickly. How fast over the speed limit do you honestly go? Honestly. What is your honest to God speed? And I'm going to say, so if you're in a 35 mile per hour zone,
yeah,
what speed do you drive? Honestly,
I might be going 40. I tend to drive a little better around town,
Okay, if it's let's do freeway 65.
Yeah.
What's your speed?
I'm going 75.
So 10 on the freeway and like 5 on the streets.
Yeah. Maybe maybe if I'm driving to the city and I'm in a real hurry and I'm worried I'm not going to make that first newscast. Yeah. Then maybe possibly 85.
Yeah. I'm like Harry, 10 to 15.
Yeah.
I'm about 10 or 15. 10 definitely. City streets, I'm about 7. City streets, I'm about 7. I'll be honest. Usually I'm around 42. If it's 35, I'm about 42.
Yeah.
25, I'm usually around 30, 31. So I'm usually neighborhoods. I try to keep it,
Yeah. Same.
But yeah, I'm about 42 and a 35.
But this is a guy that he just stopped caring. He's like,
he's a cop.
Yeah.
Who's pulling him over? He probably has something on his windshield or his license plates. It's like, don't even bother. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't slowing down. You're not pulling me over. Even if you do, it don't friggin' matter. You know, like, don't pull me over. I shouldn't even say this out loud. You know what I have in my glove compartment right now? I have my tags that still need to be put on my license plate.
Oh, okay.
I am the worst with that. Like, I'll get my new tags and I'll throw them in my glove compartment and not put the stickers on my license plate. Does anyone else
just put them on?
Because I need to take the frame off.
You do?
Well, I don't, I want to get it underneath the frame. So,
Oh, okay.
Because I got to get the sticker off, because it's underneath the frame.
Yeah, it's just a pain in your ass then.
I got to get the screwdriver out. And I've been telling my husband to do it forever and he hasn't done it.
Yeah.
So if I get pulled over, this will be like the third time I've had to get a fix-it ticket for that shit. So that's like my number one.
Just go out there and slap it on there.
I keep telling myself to do that. I'm so terrible. That's like my number one ticket, probably. But yeah. I don't speed that much though. I really, really don't. So yeah, he's a cop and he keeps getting tickets. Yeah. But it doesn't, yeah, he must get these tickets outside of his jurisdiction. Because
in his home borough of Long Island.
It must be a joke then. That has to be a joke because
no, who knows if they have.
Why are they not pulling his license? I mean, isn't it if you get a certain amount, like you lose your license?
You would think so. You would think you lose your license. I don't know.
Benefits of being a cop. You know what I mean? Benefits of being a cop. All right.
I mean, I suppose you could make all kinds of arguments. I was needed quickly at the precinct.
Tammy's like, that's a no-no to have it on your frame on your tag in Florida. No, like it's not on the number, but like, like the little, it's not covering it. But if I try to put it on there, it would be over the edge. You guys know what I'm saying. It's whatever.
And then we have this lady as we wrap it up. Oh, I know.
What are we saying about Cameron Diaz? I see your face on my thing. So
Cameron has a big issue.
Oh, I love this story. Yes,
wearing
I love this story.
your shoesies in the house.
Are you a no-shoe house?
We are a no-shoe house. I mean, I don't
really.
I'm not like militant about it, but I always take everyone when my family we take our shoes off at the front door and walk in the house.
So your shoes are outside your front door right now?
No, they're right inside the front door.
Okay, so what you walk in the house, you take off your shoes right there.
There's a basket right by the front door. Shoes go in the basket.
Mm-hmm. And then what do you put on your feet?
Nothing. You're barefoot.
Ew. Okay.
In our house, you're barefoot.
No, I don't like that. Okay.
But it's great because there's not goop from the outside world.
But you have a dog.
Well, yeah.
And your dog goes outside.
Well,
and then comes back inside the house.
Yeah. She's the only one that's allowed.
But you understand that your dog is touching the ground, right?
Well, mostly she's outside in the backyard and in the front yard. But yeah, I mean, okay. It's not like she's walking around on New York City streets.
Neither are you.
That's true. But she says that she's so grossed out that she's not cool with anyone who tracks the New York City street grime past her front door.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said if she's talking to Drew Barrymore, and Drew Barrymore said if you want to go into her house, you have to put on a whole body condom.
Oh, yeah, I understand people like this. I am not. So I am not one of these people. I'll be completely honest. I do like to take my shoes off, but the shoes can be anywhere. Like they can be in front of my couch, but I won't walk all over my house, but I just take my shoes off wherever. They drive my husband crazy. But most of the time we have like a little spot, like in my kitchen area, like a corner of my kitchen. And that's where like all the shoes go. I'm not like walking all over, but I don't like being barefoot in my house. Like I have to have socks on my feet.
Oh, really?
Oh God, no. I hate that feeling.
Let those dogs free.
I like something on my feet, whether it's fuzzy socks or I need something over my feet. Are you a no street clothes on the couch bed person?
I'm not.
I'm not one. You know what I am? This is what I am. And you can be grossed out or not. I believe everything should just be a little bit dirty person. Like not a gross type of person, but like if things are too clean, that's why you're sick. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I'm not I don't believe in like filth, but like if your house is too clean, you're probably sick a lot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I once had a friend who was trying to date me, and we're in his house, and I just sat. I almost sat on the bed just because we're talking or whatever. And he goes, "Oh no, you can't
street clothes
with your street clothes on the bed." And I looked at him like he was nuts.
Yeah.
First time I ever heard that in my whole life. I'm like, really? No street clothes on the bed? Like, how do you function in life if you're that anal about every single thing?
Yeah, no. I'm not anal like that. Like because I wash my sheets. Like I believe, you know what? The world is lived in.
You gotta live.
You gotta be a little bit dirty. Like you just gotta be a little bit dirty to be really healthy. That's a slogan. I should put that on a bumper
Although I
sticker.
think maybe if I lived in New York, I don't know if I'd be a little.
I'm not going to
more
sit. Yeah, I'm not going to sit on a
concerned.
bench.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit on the ground and then get in my bed. Like that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not. No street clothes anywhere on my couch. Like I'm not going to walk into my house and change my clothes right away. Like that's
Right.
not going to happen. But yeah, I've always kind of believed that. I'm like, you got to do just a little bit. You know what I mean? That keeps you healthy. So
I think the no shoes in the house is very Hawaiian.
yes,
For me, it's a very part of Hawaiian culture, and so for me, that's just kind of normal. Like, what you wouldn't wear your it may even be Asian culture. I don't know, but you just don't
probably.
you don't wear your dirty old shoes into someone's house.
And Canadian,
Yeah.
I've learned.
Oh yeah,
Canadians don't do that either.
okay.
I think it's a cultural thing. And
Mhm.
I like the fact that your shoes are inside your house because I know a lot of people leave them outside your house, and I just don't
No.
like that. I feel like
No,
people are
but-
going to steal your shoes.
Bugs could get in. No, thank you.
Yeah, no. And people will steal your shoes. Or I knew one person, they had their shoes thrown in their pond or like their little water feature in front of their house one time. And I was like, that's obvious. Like people are going to mess with your shoes. Like, you have teenagers in your neighborhood, they're going to mess with your shoes. Yeah, dirt is your
my
friend. Exactly.
Oh, Rebs, the no street clothes on the bed guy. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's just I mean, I don't go in my bedroom until it's like basically time for bed anyway. So I'm taking my stuff off everywhere anyway. And I'm not getting in my bed ever with my street clothes, so that would be weird. But just sitting on my bed, if I was taking my shoes off, for instance, that wouldn't gross me out.
I agree with Knit One, who says I work in medical, so clothes are off as soon as I
Yeah.
get home. I'm a lousy housekeeper, so this is something I used to do too. I used to work in an emergency room, and you don't wear your scrubs like
Ew,
around
no.
you take those off, and
I would take that off. But that's what scrubs are, is to
But
have all
you-
that stuff on it, and then you
You
take
ever
it off.
see people wearing scrubs that are like around town or they're out to lunch because they're on their lunch break or whatever? And I'm thinking, what do you got on you right now?
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
what? Yeah, no. As long as there's no bodily fluids or something like that.
Yeah.
Scrubbed it. Yeah, that's what they're for, is to protect and like take all that stuff. I would be leaving that stuff
Mhm.
like in a mud room or something. Like, no, thank you. I changed when I got home just to be comfy. Yeah. Indian family here, definitely no shoes. We
No
even have slippers for
shoes.
guests. I went
Okay.
to a house
You have
and they had a
slippers for
whole
guests?
new thing of slippers for people. Yep.
Oh wow.
Which kind of sucked because I liked the shoes that I was wearing. They went with my outfit.
No.
And I became like hella short. Like I was wearing heels and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to be short today. But it was fine.
When I grew up, it was in the country, and I used to love to pop the tar bubbles on the side of the road with my bare feet. Ew. Oh,
No, I had a friend that used to walk barefoot outside all the time. And then she
Oh.
walked into somebody's house and left feet marks on their carpet.
ooh, ow.
Yeah, no,
no, you don't want
that's
that.
gross. No. Work
Work
shoe
shoes-
stays in the car.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
For hospital shoes, your hospital Crocs or whatever.
I guess I
it
wouldn't
is.
want to like be, I wouldn't want to drop anything on the floor of your car either. Like that would be kind of gross. No. Yeah.
No
that'd be
street
gross.
clothes in bed for Kevin either. Isn't that why they invented
Yes,
pajamas?
not in bed, but like
Yeah,
some people won't even let you sit on the bed. You know what I mean?
thought that
Like
was for comfort.
pajamas?
Uh,
PJs?
pajamas, yeah, for comfort.
Well,
Not to
sleep in.
keep your bed clean, but to have comfort.
Well,
Because
yeah,
they're
I
more
mean, it's the same
comfortable than
thing.
day clothes, right?
Yeah, if you wear pajamas, some people
know.
go all nude. So
Yeah. My son has this thing he's doing lately where
Huh.
he'll get out of the shower
uh-huh.
and he'll put on clothes, like real clothes. And I'll say, why didn't you put on, the clothes you're wearing in
Pajamas.
bed? He's like, oh, I just want to sleep in this. Okay. Then the next day I see him, he's still got the same clothes on. So
Yeah,
he's putting on tomorrow's outfit. He's just
Oh,
putting
yeah.
it on early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My friend, when I'm still friends with her, but our kids went to the same elementary school, and she would do that. She would get her kids to sleep in the clothes they were wearing to school the next day because she didn't want to have a friggin' argument about it.
Oh,
And
that's
she'd be like, okay,
funny.
what are we wearing to school tomorrow? And her daughters would choose their outfit. I mean, this was elementary little
Sure.
when they didn't care, and they would just sleep in it. And that way, when they woke up in the morning, rolled right out, went to school. It's like, okay, that sounds like genius to me.
That's funny. I tell Jacob, why are you wearing that? I don't want to see that outfit again tomorrow. Don't
It's
sleep in
fine.
it and get it all
Why?
rumpled.
Who cares?
That's what
If
he
it's
says.
just, if
He
it's
just rolls out
fine.
of bed, throws on shoes,
Sounds
and
like
that's that.
genius. You know what? Saves time. It just solely saves time.
Yeah, Rhonda has a basket of socks and slippers for people too.
Genius. Basket of
Yeah.
fabrics. I had a bunch of those when my daughter was in cheerleading because they didn't want to get their white shoes dirty. I bought a
Mhm.
ton of those. Like realtors use them, painters use them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I totally grossed me out to see people barefoot at the store. Ew, yeah, no, unless you're like, I don't know, at the park, I guess, and you brought shoes but took them off because you wanted to feel the earth and get grounded or something. I have no idea why you're not wearing shoes outside or at the beach or something. Like no,
Oh,
thank you. Indoor clothes only, often thrifted or old worn outside clothes. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
very interesting. I've learned so much
Everyone
about our
has
listeners
their
today.
thing, right?
I love you guys. I just love this. I love our little family, Kim. You guys,
I do
we
too.
have such good conversations. Let's give some thank yous for our show today. You guys were very generous. Harry started us off with our Bad Mom Day donation for $5. I love it. Maud, thank you so much for the $20 donation as well. Jay came in with a $5 super sticker. Thank you. And aloha to Louise, who came in with a $10 donation. Cindy also with a $10 donation. Love it, love it, love it. Emma, or Mama, not Emma. Mama came in. Louise also came in with another $5 donation. And another $5 donation. My goodness. Karen, thank you for the $20 donation.
Yeah.
And we did go a bit long today, didn't we?
Really
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you always. Give that thumbs up. We love it. YouTube loves it. And if you want to support the show, because again, we are 100% crowdfunded, you can always find the ways to support us in the show notes. PayPal, we love because they don't take a cut. Patreon as well, if you want to be a monthly donor. And the super chat, super stickers are always live, even when we are not. We will be back here next week, Thursday. Join us live. It's always fun. We have a great conversation in the comments. 5 o'clock Pacific. We are always live on Thursdays. So please join us and tell your friends and get a cocktail because we love to drink. All right. Love you. We will see you next week. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're sprout, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.